Grow your business your way with up to 1.5 million rand in funding from Vodalend. Future Fit in association with Vodalend. Starting a business in pursuit of success is one thing, but starting a project or company to affect positive change in a community is downright admirable. One such place is Oasis Haven. They try to help children by simply loving them and helping them connect with possible forever homes through adoption. So let's go beyond the money and find out more. Beverley, thanks so much for speaking to us. Tell us more about Oasis Haven and what you do.
So Oasis Haven is a registered non-profit organization. We've been running for about 20 years, and our core business is to care for orphan and vulnerable children. So we have 2 homes that are registered as child and youth care centres. We accommodate 10 children per house, and we have chosen to do that along gender lines. So we have a boys' house and a girls' house.
So what sparked the initiative? Because not very many people actually do something like this.
Absolutely. So I wasn't the founding member, but it was really started as a ministry of a church. Back in 2000, the AIDS pandemic was rife in South Africa, and there were a lot of babies being either abandoned because they were infected or because their moms were passing away. And there was a real need for babies' homes at that time. So that was the reason that the church decided that they needed to start Oasis Haven.
So tell me more about the kids here, their personalities, how happy they are, because when we walked in, we saw them playing.
Right.
You know, it's something that's really nice to see. It's heartwarming to see that these children have a place to stay and that they're so happy.
One of our core values is that these children deserve the same as any other child. So the question we'll always ask ourselves is, what would you do for your own child? So we don't allow donors to come into our homes and just meet the children randomly. We really protect them from that. You'll have noticed we don't even have signage up because this is their home. So we don't want to have, a light saying orphans live here. Some of our children go to school across the road, and so we just try and protect their dignity in that kind of way. We also just see ourselves as their family. So we want to see them happy. We want to see them having fun. We want to see them having, outings and being able to experience things that any child would want to experience. Obviously, we focus a lot as well on education, and the reason for that is because we want to break the cycle. We want to know that when they leave us one day, they will be able to care for themselves, care for their own families, and that their children won't end up coming back into the system as well.
Brilliant. So for all of that to happen, you need money, right? How do you fund Oasis Haven?
Yeah. So there's a number of different ways. We have a full-time fundraiser who works really hard to bring in the money. It costs us about 250,000 Rand a month to run both homes. And we get funding from a number of different places. So corporate, individuals, government funding, and then we also manage to get some overseas funding, which really helps.
What about your drive? What drives all of the people behind the scenes to actually do what they're doing, to help children?
Definitely the love for these children that we know. So yes, you get new children in, but you quickly fall in love with them. But each time one of us even talks or thinks about maybe moving on, we go, but what about these kids? We need to stay for them. And that's really, I think, what drives the majority of our staff.
And why is it so important to have community-based projects like this in South Africa?
So obviously South Africa is a country with high unemployment and poverty rates. And we're a capitalist society, so we don't have the government taxing us at 60 or 70% to be able to meet the needs of all people who are living in poverty in the country. So non-profit organizations really kind of bridge that gap between government and the people in society who need assistance. Without that, the poverty levels would be much worse. The children that we care for would be living on the street, would perhaps be child-headed households, would perhaps already have passed away because children need adults to care for them.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line.
And love and attention.
100%, yes.
Thank you so much for all of the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Apply for up to 1.5 million Rand in business funding from Vodalend today. Future Fit, helping you grow your business with Vodalend.